Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thanks for stopping by. My name is Laurie. I am a family nurse practitioner, and on this channel I talk primarily about nursing. If you are not new, thanks for coming back. Consider subscribing before you leave. Today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be all about my nursing journey. So if you're interested, keep on watching. I started off my nursing journey in 2004, and in 2004 is when I began working as a nursing assistant. I did not have any plans when I was in high school or younger to become a nurse. I know a lot of people says that they always had a desire to be a nurse. I really did not. So my mom is an LPN. She's been a nurse for years. So my mom actually is the one that encouraged me to go to nursing school, because she said, listen, you will always have a job and you will always have a decent income. She never said rich. She said you'll always have a decent income and money in your pocket. So I suggest that you go to nursing school. So I took that advice from my mom and I went to nursing school. I started off going to the community college. So I went to community college to get my prerequisites together. And once I got my prerequisites done, I ended up transferring my credits to the university. And once I transferred my credits to the university and applied for the nursing program, I was surprised. I got into the nursing program the first time I applied. It was on a stipulation of me taking a test and testing out of it, because there was one class that I didn't have. If I tested out of it and passed it, I could start the nursing program. And I thought, sure. I took that test though, and guess what? I failed it. I absolutely failed that test. Essentially, my admittance to the nursing program was null and void because I didn't pass that test. So what I did was I went and I took the class instead, and I reapplied for the nursing program, and I did not get accepted. I applied again for the following entrance, and that time I did get accepted. So I started the nursing program, and let me tell you guys, nursing school was difficult for me. I found it really challenging. It was academically and it was emotionally challenging for me. And because I wasn't doing great either, it also made me feel so bad about myself, and my confidence was not the best. The first semester, I think I did assessment, I did patho. Patho is a killer. And I kept saying to myself, why am I finding patho so difficult? Because I did anatomy and physiology. I mean, I know it was a community college level, but I got a B in anatomy 1 and I actually got an A in anatomy 2. So to me, they were kind of this comparable with each other, but I was having a lot of issue with patho. I did end up passing though, and I passed all my classes up to the point where I got to taking med-surg. I ended up passing med-surg 1, and then I got to med-surg 2 and I failed it. Guys, I failed med-surg number 2. I had to wait a full year. If you have been to nursing school and you have failed a class, or know somebody who failed a class in nursing school, you have to wait an entire year, especially at these university, because the classes are only offered once a year. So if the class is only offered once a year, you have to wait for the next cohort to be taking that class so that you can take the class. I was so embarrassed. I didn't even want to go back to school. I went to retake the class. Now, my university that I was going to, they only give you one chance to fail. They said, listen, you can fail one class, but if you fail any more class, you are kicked out. So now I am feeling so much pressure because I know I couldn't fail any more class. I know I had to take my critical care class after that. I ended up taking it, I did pass it, and fast forward to the end of the nursing program, and I had to take HESI. So for those of you who don't know, so it's either called HESI or ATI. They're essentially the same thing. It's a culmination of everything you've learned in nursing school. It's almost like you're taking the NCLEX, but everybody kept saying it's harder than NCLEX. So my university says, listen, you have to pass this class or you cannot graduate. I'm like, what? And they say they're going to give you 3 chances to take this exam, right? The first 2 times, university says they'll pay for it. The 3rd time, if you have to take it, you have to pay for it out of your pocket. And they're just doing this as a courtesy to give you a degree so that you can essentially go take your boards. Now, I really wanted to graduate. I wanted to walk the stage because this was my bachelor's degree. I wanted to graduate. I wanted to walk. So the first time I took this test, I failed it. And I wasn't so bummed out about it because half of my class failed it. So because half of the class failed it, I figured, okay, it's definitely difficult. It's not just me. I'm not just the only one that is stupid. Because that's all I was telling myself, which is so terrible. Do not do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. I retake the test for the 2nd time. I ended up going on and graduated, and I was so excited. So now the true test comes, and in my opinion, NCLEX is the iceberg. Like, you have to pass NCLEX. If you don't pass NCLEX, you can't say you're a nurse. You can't practice as a nurse. So now I have to take NCLEX, and I had already found a job. I was working in the ICU. They hired me as a graduate nurse. And once they hire you as a graduate nurse, you have to pass your boards within 3 months, or they either fire you or they try to find a unit to put you on as a nursing assistant again. And I'm like, I'm not taking this embarrassment because everybody's going to know. I was doing everything in my power. Like, I have to pass my NCLEX. I ended up doing Kaplan review, and I did my Kaplan review. And while I was getting precepted, I had to do classes in the hospital. And I really think that that helped me a lot because I went to work in the ICU. And I really, truly believe that that also helped me with studying for my NCLEX. I studied, and everybody around me at the time, mind you, this was in 2010, everybody around me at the time was saying they either got 75 questions or 265 questions. And when I tell you, I was praying. I said, Lord, you know my anxiety. You know how I am. I cannot sit there to get 265 questions. And I'm not saying if you get 265 questions, that's terrible, because listen, people, the goal is to pass. So whether you get 265, 85, 75, whatever number you get, the goal is to pass the NCLEX. But I know how my mind works. And if I see that I'm getting the entire amount, I'm gonna start getting frustrated and flustered and thinking to myself that I'm not doing good and I'm going to fail. I just know how my mind works. I went to get my NCLEX, and I went there the morning and I started taking my exam, and 75 questions came and went, and I kept thinking, oh Lord, this is not gonna happen to me. So once the computer hit 80 questions, I said, you know what? I am going to take a break, because you can take a break. So I took a break. I went back. I sat down. I answered 5 more questions, and the computer shut off. I was mortified. I was like, what? How? Like, how? I have never heard anyone said they got 85 questions. I got 85 questions on that NCLEX. So, of course, in my mind, I failed it. So my sister came to me and she handed me a piece of paper, and she said, here you go. I go, what is this? So I look at the piece of paper, and it was some numbers on the paper. And I said, what are these? She's like, that's your license number. I said, license number for what? She's like, Laurie, you passed your NCLEX. I went onto the state of Michigan and typed your name in. And I'm doing this video and telling you guys about my nursing journey because I know that somebody is going through probably the same exact thing that I went through, with all the ups and downs and the failures and coming back. And at the end of the day, if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. I had so many ups and downs and failures along my journey to be in this position right now. It's oh, nothing but God. Even my master's degree program, I put off going back to school for my master's for a long time because I didn't think I could do it. And I didn't want the same feeling that I got when I was in undergrad. I didn't fail any of the classes, but I did end up failing the board exam for my FNP boards. I failed it and I had to retake it, but I'm just saying this to tell you guys, you can do it. It is going to be hard sometimes and the road is not going to be easy, but I'm telling you, it is going to be well worth it in the end. You just have to want it bad enough and trust the process and know that you're doing everything in your power to get to that destination. Thank you guys for watching this video in its entirety. If you have gotten to this point, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up so I know that you like this type of content, and make sure you subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.